Hi, my name's Trisha Niven. Welcome to DT's Blue Ridge Java, my business of 20 years that is no longer. This is something that we've worked our whole life for, trying to survive in this world. September 27th happened, Hurricane Helene. DT's began technically 26 years ago. I wanted to do a coffee shop. I was working in the corporate industry. My husband had his own business at the time, and I fell in love with a caramel latte. And I knew that that was my future. When we came in and started DT's, we were trying to figure out a name, and our niece came up and said, "What about delirium tremors? Because you get the DT's when you don't have your coffee." And we both giggled so hard, and we loved that idea, so we called it DT's Blue Ridge Java Coffee Shop and Cafe. This has been a journey. Had no idea this was going to happen. None of us had preparation. I mean, we knew a storm was coming, and it had rained really hard the day before. It wasn't until day 2 that we had a neighbor who actually was able to get out of the neighborhood, who brought us a video and showed us that our business of 20 years is gone. Everything on this side of the building was completely washed away. Everything on this side of the building was bolted to the walls. That's the only reason I had cabinets left. The water, we are assuming, that came in stayed in our building for possibly 11 or 12 hours. We're not really sure how long. We had $2.5 million worth of insurance on our building and our business, and we did not get a dime because we didn't have flood insurance. I was not in a floodplain. This is our livelihood. This is it. My husband and I just worked 26 years to have a plan, and we did everything right. And it took us years to figure out how to do that. And it all got taken away in one night, or I should say one morning. It all got taken away. Day 3, when I walked in to this store and I walked around and looked at it, I immediately stopped and asked the Lord, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna take care of this? Day 4, when we got up and came down here, I had 30 volunteers show up. Just people, some people throughout the community, some of them my customers, some of them not my customers. Over the next 2 weeks, yes, did I have a ton of outsiders from Philadelphia to Ohio to Canada, Florida, that came in, just walked in randomly, "Can I help?" And they had a shovel, and I was like, "Sure," and they would just help us. I have a saying now, there was before the storm and after the storm. Before the storm, we all have issues in our life. We all have things that we get stuck on. And after the storm, that was all gone. The animosity was gone. The anger was gone. It was, you hugged everybody. You loved everybody. I couldn't be more blessed to live in a community where we rallied around each other and picked each other up off the ground, because literally 3 times a day, I would break down in the mud on my knees crying, and these volunteers would pick me up and pray over me and help me get back up. And when I say that's the most powerful thing out of this entire experience is watching that many people, total strangers, just loving on you to show you that it's gonna be okay. What are my hopes and plans for the future of DT's? Well, I'm coming back, and I'm hoping to come back even stronger and better. I wanna do everything I wasn't able to do the first time around. It's a rebirth, and that the Lord's giving us an opportunity, and I will try even harder. I want to show the next generation not to give up. Am I excited that I'm still here? Yes. Am I worried about my community? No. People in these mountains are some of the strongest people I've ever met in my entire life. And when someone says, "Oh, you're rebuilding," I'm like, well, of course I'm rebuilding. Well, I wouldn't even give that a second thought. We're all rebuilding. And I am just one tiny little story outside of all of these stories. Every single person you could go to on Lower Street has a story. My story is just a common story. Husband and wife team, been together 28 years. We had a dream. We worked every day of our life to have that dream. We got our dream. I was 4 years away from potential retirement. We brought our daughter into the business. My daughter wanted to buy us out. And now I'm starting all over again. Our store has turned into a small ministry over the last 20 years. We've had wedding parties, funeral parties, birthday parties. Gideons meet here every Saturday morning. We have 3 different counties that we pull from, 3 different counties that all needed a meeting place. And when you can walk into DT's, you just got this feeling of home. Throughout this experience of this storm, everybody has been trying to get us to understand what this storm means to this community. And it's hard to hear, it's hard to process that a single little coffee shop could mean so much to so many people. And we are honored, we are humbled, and we are beyond humbled to think that we made such an impact in our community. It's just our coffee shop. If I feel like I'm giving anyone hope, then great, because that's kind of what I want. I want to make people realize that this town's worth fighting for. This was our dream, this business, this community. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I love my mountain town. I love my mountain people. And I'm honored to think that I get to be a community member within this area. I'm building back for Spruce Pine, not for us. And I want everyone in Spruce Pine to know that.